Well, I think there is no way to be sure of like whether industry plants are real or not. I guess because hypothetically, if you're an industry plant, you would not say that you are on an industry plant because the definition behind it is basically that you're like an organic, I don't know, artist that received no help from your label or the I don't know some kind of publication company you're associated to. One would not say that because not to reveal that they received the support is the main point why they became an industry plant. Um, I think there is some certain degree where it can cause harm because let's say an industry plant has a fan base, whether that be as organic as they are with their stardom. I do think you know um, it's bound to suffer and downfall if the because they're gonna reap what they sow. The ground itself is not true. It's not real in the first place. Um, and uh, but I can say that there are industry plants and some people that are just like born with like connections, to the industry I don't know they work in. Your parent might be a manager of the company. Your parent might work in that certain company, or that you know your family might know somebody who's really um, well known for I don't know advertisement or some kind of management for the industry you want to be in. Um, in that case, I'm not sure if that's an industry plant. Where was I? I was not train of thought. That's why. Oh yeah. Industry plant. I think in that case where they are born with, lucky. I don't believe in luck, but anyways, for the sake of the conversation. No, I'm alone. Anyways, yeah, industry plant. Ah, if you're born with the like a natural connection to people who have ties with the industry or company, I'm not sure if that's easy to see. You just if that defines whether he or she is an industry plant. However, if the start goes along with it and says like he or she is like organic, like starts from the bottom or some shit like that, that possibly is. I mean, that's not being true, is it, to yourself? Whatever they say. In that case, do I think it's I don't know, that specific part of you just lying, that bogus claim is just a sentiment or like an element that makes an industry plant, dishonesty, and I don't know whether the existence of theory or not. Uh, but I do think there is a possibility. I mean, what obviously, but like whether there is an industry plan or not, there seems to be. Like I'm not gonna say names, but like you can see it in their performance, or you can see it in their, how rapid they've grown. Just all of a sudden. Maybe part of that is on the internet and how just, how in its range being like overseas or like worldwide. But like, you know, it could be that you got something like so many streams or, people listen to you a lot. But ultimately, I think, you know, if they're credible or not. Are they real or not, which they don't seem like it. Another question I have is on the, I don't know, the music or movie awards, like, Oscars or Grammys. Uh, Not to shit on them, but yeah, not to shit on them or anything, but just that, it just seems so off that there are like award programs for those kind of entertainment or those mediums of art. Um, I get that trying to praise artists for their hard work, and celebrating, you know, um, the meaning in the art or whatever that might be. Whether that be, peace, life, or death, I don't know. Um, I think that's honorable. That's respectable. But it's just that, well, the standards in which they give the awards, um, you know, that itself is ridiculous. You cannot determine like which aesthetic is superior or which uh which artwork is inferior to another. By what means? Like, because it differs for every people. It varies. Even if you don't like art, that itself is a standard you stand on. Yeah. No, like, so basically, I think everybody has taste. I mean, the Academy Awards have people who know much more about movie than I do, for sure, but in the end, it's all taste. And there is no good or bad in it, like, or right or wrong. Um, I mean, technically, you suck and I suck too. As for a taste in art or, preferences. In that case, like, because ultimately they don't fucking matter. That's what I'm trying to say. I know that, the Grammys or the Oscars have like small, like, they did divide it into parts. So it's not just like the best movie award and, that's it. It's not like that, which I greatly appreciate. I can try to appreciate at least, like, best actress, best actor, or, best editing, you know, it is important to raise awareness that, acting and directing is the only thing that goes into a film, good or bad. There is also like background artists or editors, good or bad. They still do exist, as a key point in the film industry. And to praise them for their, blood, sweat, and tears, I can respect that, but even to that degree, there is a certain degree where people feel like perfection in art it's just subjective, whereas an editor might be praised for a good job, but one might think that there was something lacking in one criteria, like the the quality of the shot or the sound mixing. There's so many stuff people can just go on about, and in the end, it entails that you even though Academy did give them awards, however, I think blah blah blah, blah and it ultimately means that the awards don't really mean anything to them. Which I perfectly understand. I do too. I feel like maybe Oscars and, Grammys are just like TV shows just for entertainment things. Do they really have any significance or any meaning? Like, I don't know. It's just like a vote for the academies. You can like a movie, but does your opinion count towards winning an award? No, ultimately. Oh, ultimately, does it in the end? No, not precisely. Anyways. Another, I don't know, thought that I just rambling on just inside. It's just that, something about art, I guess just that, on the statement that art is subjective, of course. That is at the heart of it, I should assume. I really don't know what I think. It's just art, I guess. And, it's probably on, what is it called, TikTok or, I don't know, any sort of media on, they just draw an abstract art or some kind of art, and I mean, I can't say that that's not art because that must have a certain meaning. By all means and definition and in the criteria, it does satisfy those conditions. I can't say it isn't. However, are they good? That is my question. We all know artists like in any way and form, they are always just like subjectively good. But deep inside, people do think that when they see like an art, they do know it's kind of like it's not really overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really impressive or they just get lost trying to search for some identification for why it is indeed art. And one might see it as true and one might see it as some bullshit. And the other might say art is subjective, which means that they don't really give a shit whatsoever. I feel like in all the three, I'm in the middle of them almost. Whatever that means. I'm not like a professional artist, but I do think art is somewhat, I hate to say this, like the meaning of life. I guess just like something that depicts beyond what we don't know, and it just tells us the perspectives of people. Because we can't read minds, but we can express ourselves and have ourselves not understood, but almost be not recognized, but sympathize. Almost, I guess, just it's a form of communication beyond oral form or any kind of scripture of writing. And it is timeless. That's what I feel about art. You could die tomorrow, but if you draw your own like self-portrait today, people tomorrow are gonna remember your face. I guess not your whole life, obviously, but I think that is a form of communication. A message that you existed and died. I guess something beyond that, but for example, that is. I do think in art, I think fame plays a role in what an art is. I guess, like Andy Warhol said, you could take a shit if you're famous and people would applaud you for it. However, if you're like a normal Joe and just shitting from the street, I don't know, you're gonna be on the death row or some shit. I don't know. Whereas you would be, I don't know, like the Messiah or praised for, I don't know, for executing the immaculate, I don't know, like art, I guess. That's not right for shit, but you get the idea. The final question I have is just about Politics. Oh shit. I know, 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 I know. There's, you know, many, I don't know, polar opposites and extremes to a political preference. Um, Absolutely, I think, and it's just that each pose have a flaw, by a certain metric or like a certain standard, I guess. Just um, and that's why that's why it could be divided into like, I don't know, progressive or conservative or authoritarian, libertarian. That it has flaws. That's why it can be divided into sections and their own group, their own family. That's how, or else it will just be politics. And I don't know. I guess you have to explain your whole belief. I guess. Um, Rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm dumb," I'm just like I believe in something. Just whatever. And um, there's a lot to unpack. Um, Ultimately, is that us as humans, we fucked up even before we were born. It's just humanity has fucked up humans, and humans have fucked up humanity. You see, because it has been almost like absolute, like whether you're independent or left or right, you do subject like, the tenets of your belief, like whether it be conservative or progressive, they all have flaws, and to embrace them all, too, like, or by any means to support your belief means that even if indirectly you do support the cause that is very flawed, and rather than supportive, it's rather harm. In that, you know, behavior, there is no, I don't know, superior political side. We're all fucked wherever you go. Although there's like a lot of talks about like, I don't know, just more knowledgeable people in politics on how to govern the people, but ultimately, I don't think it's possible. Just as like a standpoint of individual, just personally, individuals as a plural noun is the problem. In that, just there's a lot of elements we have to consider before saying the word equal or equity as a moral standpoint. Just not be moral bankrupt, or provide the same situation in life to every people, so they are as one and equal and fair. But frankly, that's impossible. And the attempts to that have failed. If you look into history, I don't think it's possible for a utopia to be invented. There's some controversial stuff, a lot more. Just kind of think about alone, because if I try to talk about people, it does turn into a conversation. It turns into a debate, and people they just make problems for themselves. Not excluding me, of course. Ultimately, I don't think these should be controversial. These shouldn't be, almost forbidden to talk about. I mean, amongst others. I think every issue should be a social issue. And there should be an emphasis on the social, as putting the word individual as plural. But I do still think the word collectiveness is still somewhat vital to whether it's going forwards or back, just preferably forwards, you know. And well, do I know why I made this video exactly? No, but I just... Shit, am I real?